Okay. So I'm just going to go through the cards that I messed up and like... Well, when I watched back through, I didn't miss too many, so... Just trying to remember if any... I think they all flew out. Except... Yeah, I think that was the only one that it just turned sideways as I was shuffling. And then because I kept shuffling a little bit after, but that was turned sideways, so I picked it. And what was on the bottom was emotional release. You see the... Here, let me see if this will look better, maybe. Oh, it's got to block out the sun. Okay. Anyway. So, blue plus yellow is green. Oh, right behind that bottom card was this Omen. Look at that. Ooh. I didn't even look last time the first time I did it, so. And that, I believe, is a falcon. Could be a hawk. I'm going to go with falcon, though, because I like falcon. And that's... Oh, omens. Number 31, omens. Okay, so this was 37. Emotional release. And this was significant. That's why I'm showing it again, because it went with this top card. So when I stopped, it was this on the top. So letting go with emotional release. So, you know, if you got to yell the F word at the top of your lungs, or, I mean, well, depending on your, yeah, because neighbors and stuff, right? So, but, and let's see here, one tree's up, one tree's down. Or left, right, east, west, however you want to look at it. We have the sun, which is fire and electricity, and then we have the water. Golden spirals all around, but that black and white, because the yin-yang, that was the actual card. This is the one that was turned around, so this was the, yeah, top card, which is 43, reduced to 7. So anyway, those went together, emotional release and letting go. So I thought it was significant to show that. Well, the next top card is movement into balance, so that goes well too, because you got the that bird card that was Bulgra or whatever it was called, about dance. Dance, I said dance. So boogie oogie woogie till you just can't boogie no more, something like that. So perception. So we'll read that really quick. Number 9. Well, it's right after the death card, which is number 8. Oh, it's hurting my hands. This is a stiff book. Okay. Page 48 and 49. 49 is 7 times 7. That's a good number. So with energy, sometimes a slight shift in perception is all that's needed. Remember, nature strives to retain balance. It is only our perception and labels that cause us to think otherwise. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? Are you certain that you are at the center? Are you certain that you are at the center of all the drama around you? I was asking you, like, are you sure? Maybe you're not. Maybe it's, right? Spiritual harassment. It's always that, right? Perhaps cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from every different viewpoint will shift your judgment of this person or situation from intolerable to simply, it is. And as it is, it won't remain so for long. Letting go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint also frees the situation up to go the natural way and get back into balance. Yeah, because a situation has a life purpose and path and journey all its own too. So if we get stuck on something, can't let it go, then that thing itself can't move on and fulfill its destiny. And yesterday I was getting something I wrote a while back last year, I don't know, whatever it was. It was conversation with my dad, I think. We were talking about rigidity. So going with the flow, and so rigidity as far as like you know, you need to stand in your power like those other cards. You need to stand strong. The Gateway Oracle card, I forget how it was worded exactly, but so there's that rigidity where you can't waver on certain things, like your faith or whatever, okay? But then there's other things where you need to go with the flow. So it's a balance between fluidity and rigidity. And it's how much of each is, it all depends on you and your perspective, your perception. Like personal reception. How are you receiving something? Perception is personal per each individual. Perception. Sept is like Seth, like the brain, like the head. Percept ion. Percept ion. Okay. Then this was, so that was the Shamanic healing deck. And then this was the Resonance Oracle card that came out. Spellbound. And what was, let's see what was on the bottom. Top here. Oh yeah, that's right. These were, they're all kind of, they all go together, so it's kind of hard not to. So when that flipped out, Circles and Cycles was on the top. And Earthbound Cousins was on the bottom. And see how it's like a fox, a wolf, the ant, like a goat, a ram, a bird, a human, right? It's like you right there, all the different aspects. Okay, they can be represented by angels or animals or chakras, however you want to look at it. So spellbound and then earthbound cousin. So bound, something bound and being released, you know, expressing. And what I was talking about that I think was in the first part that got messed up, but birthdays are these cycles, it's a solar, like, personal review. So that was the top card, so that's, you know, goes right along with this. And the Spellbound, this was just, again, with with the reflection, and also perception of self. So you have perception. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as balanced? So this is, you know, a year in review. Solar, so it's shedding light to see how in balance you are, because that's when we're lined up with God. So, you know, inner work, going within. So there's just confirmation that Sacred Rebel card was about going within. So yeah, but just remember, when we do go there, set an intention so that you can find your way back out, right? Because we don't want to, you know, explore pains of our childhood, but then the whole purpose was to heal and grow and learn, and so we don't repeat behaviors and blah, 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 right? Be more self-aware. So we don't want to go in there and then start getting upset and feeling resentful and mad at our mom or dad and this. So we have to remember why we went down in, you know, spelunking down into the abyss of the self. You know, having a mantra to remind yourself to keep yourself awake through that process, because there's emotions attached to it and all kinds of stuff. So we're trying to detach all that stuff, right? There's this thing called the SCORPIO technique that my counselor taught me about, and I don't know if, because I've mentioned it on a video or two, I don't know, but when you think about the traumatic incident or whatever it is that's bothering you, that you keep having an emotional triggered, you know, response to. So you think of the event and you tap both of your knees, your left and right knee, or your left and right shoulder with your left and right hand. So your right hand is tapping your right knee or right shoulder, and your left hand is tapping or touching your left. So you just, here, let me just show you. It's like so much easier to just explain. So, okay, so as you're thinking of the thing, you're tapping your right knee, okay, just in a regular, calm, you're thinking of the event, whatever emotions that come up with it. So before you sit down, you can have something in mind specifically, or you could do it with your shoulders. Okay. That's called the SCORPIO technique. So, I mean, and if you want to research it more, but there's just different things that you can do with a mental or emotional thing that you attach a physical thing to, and what happens is through that process of having a physical pattern rhythm as you're engaging in the memory of this, what happens, I don't know how it works with the brain, but I don't remember all the specifics, but you basically separate the emotional attachment associated with that event, and the emotion goes to the emotional center where it needs to go in whatever part of the brain, and the event, just the memory, factual, just okay, picture whatever of the memory minus any emotion, that goes to the memory bank part of the brain. So the event and the emotion get separated. The emotion goes where the emotion's supposed to go. The memory of the event goes where the memory goes. So every time you remember this event, you don't have an emotional triggered response to it. You can just explore the event or explore the emotion. Okay, so this is just that fine-tuning, like scrutinizing our path, this self-examination, and it's awakening, right? And then we have all this detail work to do. So It's like getting your car washed, right? But then you have detail work. You get the little vacuum attachment, get the crevices, and you armor all the tires, all that, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, okay. So the Sakura, I think it's called Sakura. Sakura technique, yeah. Sakura. And I just, funny because I was just watching a video and they said something about Sakura, something or other that had something to do with ancient Egypt. And I was just like, that's so funny because I was just thinking of that technique yesterday and doing that myself. And then I come across this video after, and it's just, of course, right? It's not funny, it's of course. Okay, so let me read Spellbound really quick. And then we'll see if a few tarot cards want to fly. Spellbound. My stomach's gurgling, not because I'm hungry, because I just ate and it's it's doing its churning. So sorry if you hear it talking. Wow, it's being loud. Chyme. The chyme in the tummy turning. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. This was important because it was on page 76. So, and 77. So it says, let's read the alternate meanings. I didn't read that. Close your eyes and ears for a while and see what it is you feel. Right? Because sometimes we're feeling what somebody else feels, or believing or thinking what somebody else believes or thinks, or what, right? And is it truly us, our authentic self? So ask yourself, is it what you feel? So close your eyes and ears for a while and see what it is you feel. There are outside influences that you shouldn't be adhering to right now. There's a habit or pattern that isn't fitting for you anymore. So those were 3 things. So that has to do with the letting go and the release, emotional release. Where'd it go? Anyway, yeah. Yeah, emotional release and letting go. So, and yeah, habit that's not fitting for you anymore, doesn't serve you, right? Okay, so there are things pulling at you or pushing you. These are the outside influences. Yeah, these energies, that they're energies, cosmic, this, that, collective consciousness, natural energies of Gaia. So you can be influenced by them negatively if you're not aware and conscious of the energies. That's why meditation is so important. But these essences or these energies, you don't have to engage. You don't have to push or pull. You can choose not to engage. So, especially when they're low vibrational negative stuff, right? You don't have to engage. You don't have to pull or push. You can exercise your right not to walk. Captain, my captain, right? Or whatever, however they said it. Robin Williams, I love you. Okay. Things people tell you, things you are supposed to do, personal bindings. These are what the influences are. Things people tell you, things you are quote unquote supposed to do. So things that people make you feel obligated to do, guilt trip you into doing. Personal bindings, right? This is what your programming is made of. Past teachings that no longer serve in your highest interest, if they ever did. Right, and a lot of that has to do with not being aware of what our highest interest is, right? When we awaken and start coming out of the world, we start remembering that. These can be suppressive and often are. Now is the time to stop listening to them! Exclamation point. These negative or unsuitable influences might have even taken root within you so that they seem of your own making. But if you look closer, dear one, you will see they came from someone else and hold you back from being true to you. Above all, if you are sacrificing what you truly want, think, or feel in the name of someone or something else, this is being untrue to you! Exclamation point. This does not mean you shouldn't dig further within yourself to see what it is, to see what is for your highest good all the while. But as you do, you should express and be you, in italics. Okay, so you, it's all about you. Hello, you. And express, okay, that self-expression, the dancing around, being silly, being a kid, not caring. I told a story, I might have got cut off in the first part, where it was just at the high school dance, the graduation dance, and a couple boys were just, they're too cool, right, to dance, so they're just sitting in their chair, and they're laughing at us girls who are in like a little conga line, and, we're in our cute dresses, in a little conga line, doing our little, just all girls, I think it was just a few girls, just us, whatever, it was, I think it was project graduation, yeah. So, it was just all seniors, everyone in our class, but, I knew these boys, they were kind of cocky, whatever, like, judged people if they smoked weed, but they would go drink and get drunk at parties or something, but they're like the soccer stars, a little Mexican dude that was like real cute, and everyone, I was just kind of like this little crew of like, little soccer dudes who were like, but Mexican-American, their parents own businesses, and they have their own business and own house now and all that stuff. So it's like Sonoma County, like, Hispanic, where they have like, they save their money up, they build their own house, they build up their own business, like from scratch, from nothing. They take advantage of the opportunities in this country. So anyway, so I'm just trying to explain why he was kind of cocky and spoiled and had like nice clothes and like all like the soccer gear and whatever. So, but I think he like kind of had a crush on me, but I was just too myself, A lot of people can't handle that. Friendships, men, family, co-workers, whatever. If you're a subordinate, if you have a big personality, your boss ain't gonna like that, right? So it's just that kind of stuff. But it was like laughing at us, and we're dancing and just having fun, and we're just being silly. We don't care what we look like. We're just doing the bunny hop, right? Conga line. And so I could feel this energy, so I just stopped and stared at him. I'm like, what are you staring at? Oh, you think, this is funny? You're gonna like laugh at us and mock us and stuff? What? At least I'm out here having fun, living my life. Like, what are you doing? You're sitting on a chair making fun of somebody else living their life, watching them live their life. Right? Why don't you get up and dance so I can make fun of you? No, just get up and dance so we can all be fools together and just have fun. It's not about, right? So, I've had to deal with that my whole life, and I've never had a problem standing up for myself. Not that it's not easy. You can have panic attacks and throw up and all, but I just can't not align with truth, and so sometimes that means you standing up for yourself. And a lot of times, most of the time, if not every time, that's gonna mean that person won't ever talk to you again, because most people don't love unconditionally and don't have that true Christ consciousness, and they want to call themselves Christian and this and that, but are they really? Put them to the test and see. I don't have very many people around me because of that. They say that they love you, they're your friend, they're your family, but are they? It's like every time I talk to my dad, it's like a guilt trip. But I'm supposed to feel bad because you're old and alone, but yet where were you my whole life? I don't care about that, but I'm also not guilt tripping, you see. So I don't know why I'm getting a little bit emotionally responsive to that. I can't even remember what card it was now, but it's just the obligation to people. I mean, we got to get to a point where it's just like, man, people just need to be grown up and just be responsible for their own feelings, regardless of, even if you were a horrible parent, okay, and you changed, you got your life together, whatever, but because of a result of you being a bad parent, okay, your children got addicted to, or one of your kids got hooked on drugs or whatever. So they're going to blame you for being a bad parent, yet you made all the changes to, you know, recover and whatever, go to anger management or whatever, you know, different problems parents have or whatever. So it's like the child wants to stay stuck in the past, even though the parent has changed. For the child, they want the parent to stay that same dysfunctional person, and then they'll have an excuse to keep being an addict. But see, they don't have an excuse. There's never an excuse, but if the parent did all the things they needed to do to change, you know, well, now the kid can't use that as an excuse. So there has to come a time where that parent tells that child, look, whatever I did, mistakes in the past, it was wrong, I regret whatever, but that's the past. I've changed. I'm a different person. You can't keep blaming me and use me as an excuse to for your bad behavior, okay? Okay, so this is the gem oracle card that flipped out. And this is the Anahata. This is grass, so this is earth, the element of earth, you know, like earth, fire, air, water. It's the number 2. There's the Asana pose. I said Anahata, right? The heart chakra. And the Asana pose is actually, oh, and there's Venus, the sign for Venus. And that planet rules Taurus and Libra, which is my brother and my dad. My brother's a triple Taurus. So this, one of the things that stood out was it helps in transitioning, either someone who's convalescing. So I thought maybe for dreaming that natural agate would be a good stone too, because it helps you transition from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th and back. Okay, so smooth transitioning. Yeah, because the lotus pose, that's the lotus pose. The asana is that's the word for yogic pose, asana. So the asana is Padma Sana. Padmasana, which reminds me of Padmasambhava, lotus-born rainbow Buddha, and it's called the lotus pose. So Padma pad, like lily pad, and then ma, like Sana. Ana, that's like God, and S, Ana, S is always wisdom, mother. Okay, anyway, we don't want to go too far into all. I can break down every letter and okay. So this is the message here. This is the moment to use all our common sense. Projects that a short time ago were still dreams are now well on their way. We are close to realizing something, but we must study every minimal detail. I was just saying that, attention to details about something, without becoming anxious. Right. Explore something, the details of something, explore an event, the emotions and all that without reactiveness, being reactive. Natural agate will push us to see all our realism and practicality. Life is made of relationships, and we must use them to bring water to our mill. And I was just going to say that 2 is the number of partnerships, building, balance, cooperation. emerging from one realm to the next, bringing spirit into form. The two aspects of something. So ideas for meditation. Let me make sure this is plugged in so I don't do the same thing again. Okay. So natural agate gives dynamism and helps to face problems without being overcome by anxiety. What can we do to organize our time better? Are we satisfied with our level of concentration? What can we do to improve it? So natural agate infuses trust in oneself. It is also excellent for those convalescing. This stone helps to become aware of one's own body. Right, how you're responding to things, how you feel about something before you respond to it. Sitting with the feeling of it and the thoughts of it. Right, because a lot of times we want to act first, but we're not even really sure how we think or feel about something before we do that. But as we do that, we build trust in ourselves. We look back and we say, oh, I like how I responded to that. And it was a lot better, maybe not perfect, but better than how I responded to the same situation 2 months ago. And then next time you'll be even more prepared. You'll be like, oh, I know exactly how to respond to this now, right? Because God will let you hone, fine-tune, make yourself excellent. God is the one helping us in that process, perfecting ourselves. It's not about reaching an ultimate goal of perfection. It's about a process of perfecting oneself. So trusting in yourself to always respond from your true authentic self, which is your heart. Okay, the more you do that, the more you're going to trust in your ability to do that. And that will give you more confidence in the next time it comes up, whatever it may be, a person, place, thing, an emotion, whatever. And then this, I think, shot out tranquility. So that came up again. That's been liking to show itself lately. So trust, all will turn out well. Everything will fall into place. Peace of mind and tranquility are soon restored. Everything falls into place when you put God first. It's real easy. Everything else self-prioritizes. It takes care of itself. All we got to do is put God first. And what is God? Love and light. What is love? It's unconditional. It's patient and kind always. What is light? It is truth. It is information. It's codes directly from God to activate you to remember who you are, where you come from, and what your purpose is here. Okay. Give me 1 second to stretch out my back and we're going to flip some tarot cards. And I'm trying to think what was on the bottom and top of that, the spirit deck. Oh, because I know it was something. Did I have? This deck. Oh, it is right here. Yeah. The bottom was inspiration. Do not lose sight of your original intention. Check inside your heart to see if the path you are traveling fits in with your original hopes and aspirations. Right, the reason why you came down to earth in the first place. If not, take action, take control, and steer your life back on course. And then the top one, when that flipped out, this was the top card, responsibility. You have only a responsibility to yourself. You are only obliged to yourself. Okay? Not even to God. He gives you free will. You're not obligated to him either. The only obligation you have is to yourself. The only obligation you have is to yourself. Yeah. Do what feels right for you above all else. It is impossible to please all parties in the present situation. You have responsibility only for your own life and actions. Others must take responsibility for themselves. That's right. It's time for everyone to grow up and be accountable for themselves, no matter what kind of mom, dad, whatever you had. Okay. I know my dad's probably never going to change in certain ways. Or maybe I don't know that. Who knows? Or who doesn't know? I don't know. Or maybe I do know. But all I do is go with my feeling in the moment. If I feel like talking to him for a short amount of time or a long amount of time, or maybe it's only been a few days, or maybe it's been a few months, I go with what I feel. I have no obligation, even if I don't talk to my dad for 5 years, I have no obligation ever to do anything for anyone, except if you have a child, and even then, that there's limits to that and certain ages and okay. So so that was the Spirit Oracle. Golden Rose. Oh, I see what I did there. Okay, so all right, let's see. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do the Egyptian pose. Oh, let me show you something really quick. There's a prism right there. You see that? Oh, now I'm blocking it. I can't see the screen now. Ooh, it's hot under this thing. Okay, I hope you saw that rainbow prism. All right. Oh, sorry for the bouncies. That's never good. I can't even go on swings anymore. Okay. Just too sensitive to energies, emotion, and okay, where's the cards? All right. Okay. Let me get this adjusted here. Just so you can see pretty sunshine and prayer flags. Preparing shamanistic preparations. Here, I'll let you see the shuffling. Well, you can hear the first part. So we'll just see what cards come out that'll enhance, confirm. What we've gotten so far. Gotten, is that a word? I don't know. Okay. So you can be able to see the magic. All the white light of the unified rainbow, the God grain flow, the only flow I know. Key being God. Here we go, here we grow, here we glow. Okay, that was upside down. So I'm going to turn it right side up. Okay. Well, there's the white buffalo. Yo, white buffalo. She's riding the beast. Okay, this is, yeah, the knights are women, females in this, okay. Because they're fire in this deck. So that is the Knight of Pentacles. Very sure-footed. And see how that's a real big beast? They can't afford to make them, to have a misstep and right? That's a lot of weight to... You better know when you have to slow down, like way in advance and stuff like that. Being prepared. This animal does not just fly by the seat of their pants. When they get going, they get a good, right? See the wind blowing in her hair? She's like, whoo, right? You got some speed going there. But it builds. Just like God, line upon line, precept upon precept. And it kind of looks like you're coming out of this harsh, dark world. These all look really angular, and this is all dark back here. These whatever that is, really angular looking in a city or some whatever it is. The Emerald City, the lies, and see how this is all like illuminated, a golden path. This is like coming out of the darkness into the light. And when we do that, this is not an irrational process. This is something that we have to be very conscious about. Okay, our spiritual path is one of total dilation. Like your pupil is totally dilated. You're taking it all in. But see, you dilate your pupil. The spiritual thing is like a conscious thing. Well, maybe not. I mean, it kind of happens to you, and then the rest of it is conscious. And it was all written, you know, before we even came here. So if you look at your life as a story, if you look at God and history, everything as his story, go, whoa, okay. Two of Pentacles. The King and Queen of Fire came out together. And here's Two of Pentacles. This is balance, harmony, partnership. Okay, twos. Building line upon line, precept upon precept. What I just said in Two of Pentacles flew out. So he's calling in his higher self. Okay, that partnership of you and your higher self. Calling in your divine soulmate, partner, whatever. Okay. Connecting with the collective consciousness, the Akash, with God, with Jesus, the Ascended Masters. They're all aspects of yourself. So you're connecting with another part of you. Fusing your light and your dark. And these are, let's see, stones, bones, drums, and bows. Stones are water, stones, bones are fire. Oh, these are air. Yeah. Obviously, bow and arrow, right? So this is the King and Queen of air, or the King and Queen of Swords, which are the spiritual ones. They're very just, not that they lack emotion, but this is their biggest, I would say their go-to as far as how they identify themselves would be very shaman-like. You see her, okay? So, and that makes sense because we're naturally the feminine, the female has the womb. Okay, she's not afraid. She has the period every month. She's not afraid of the blood. She's not afraid of the darkness. She's not afraid of the womb, the void, the unknown, the unseen. Okay? That's why a lot of times we're called witches and all that stuff, because we're just not afraid of the darkness, because we are the womb. So we're going to go just explore that. We're not going to be afraid of it. It's a part of who we are. So, and let me just interpret this one, because this is like, it looks like a Mongolian, like, herdsman or tribesman. Oh, and there's 3 bells on his bow there. So the Trinity, okay, Divine Mother, but then here's duality right here, okay, division, duality, but the higher consciousness. So this is like the man, the person, the one individual split into two, but the higher self, the higher consciousness, the ethereal, ether body. Etheric, that's what I was trying to, thank you. Etheric. Where we're perfect balance of this Trinity, that's our highest self. We're one. Through the Trinity, we are one. Down here, duality, we're divided, we're split. We have like manic depressive, bipolar, whatever, split personality. So this journey down here is about bridging that gap, because you can't close that. It's duality, but we can be a bridge. Okay, this is one person. I see this as one person. Okay, so that's what the King of Swords, the masculine, that's his main objective. Wait a second here. Oh no, that just means the king. Okay, I was like, wait a second, they were, okay. No, I have this right. Okay, yeah, air. Because these are bows, so it's air, which is swords, yeah. I was looking down here, I'm like, wait, because that looked like crystals for a second. So yeah, that's king, and that necklace, that's queen. So that's what he has to do as the masculine, or the masculine energy within, okay, the left brain of men and women. And then the woman, or the right brain part of each person, we go explore that darkness, okay? Man or woman, it's the feminine, but the female just embodies a greater percentage of this energy, whereas the man, he embodies more of the masculine energy. Not always. Okay, there's women who can be more masculine or go back, but if we all can balance, men and women can all balance the masculine and feminine within, then this whole thing is fused. Okay, duality, the light and dark, the masculine, the feminine, and then we are that much more powerful, that much more in tune with our own strength, our own divinity, our connection to God, which is the thing that gives us our fuel and our power. And by power, I just mean, humble power, not like trying to control and dominate, just self-empowerment, not about trying to have power over, exert your power over anything or anyone, over time, natural or spiritual law. You do not exert your power. I don't even really pray for anything. I just pray for more truth and understanding and clarity and growth and grace to be a better person. Because I have everything I need and God provides. So this is a level of faith and trust. With the King and Queen of Swords, they've achieved this level of self-awareness, but not just that, self-acceptance too. and self, and then eventually, once you accept yourself, then what? Then you kind of just transcend the self. And now you can really expand and explore. But when we're so trapped in our childhood, or what causes our anxiety, or we're lonely, or blah, 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 my kid's driving me crazy, or I don't have enough money to get to here, it's just constraints, restraints. When we free ourselves from all the self-work, now we can explore the more expansive parts of the self. Okay, because all that inner work and spiritual. Now this is a level of where they're going deep with it. She's going deep into it, right? Into the abyss. He's going way high into the golden consciousness. I mean, now they're ready to explore outside of themselves. But you won't have the confidence or know what you're doing or anything like that if you don't start with the self first. And you do that exploration, healing, all this, whatever, dark shadow work, dark night of the soul, blah, 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 blah. Purging and ascension symptoms. But, we never stay stuck, right? It's always about cycles and stuff. So this is about now exploring the more expansive layers of yourself. So this is like the core issues, healing the inner child, all that. Okay, now when you're at King and Queen status, N of Swords, okay, it's like you're ready to jump out the nest. The masculine, feminine are balanced, and you're at a centered state spiritually to now just instead of being bound, now you can bounce. And when you detach from all the stuff that holds you back and keeps you heavy and stuck, you're a lot lighter and free to bounce and be bouncy. And it's really liberating when you learn how to say no, and you learn how to control your emotions, all these different things, what we do growing up, right? Process of growing up and the spiritual path and all that. So that, yeah, I mean, some people, because other people are watching this, for them it could mean, literally a partnership, because there's the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, so that means something coming in, but it's slower and more sure-footed and confident. But if it's like a partnership thing, that's what you want anyway. And very balanced with the Two of Pentacles, and this is tangible because it's Pentacles, so it's of the earth. Yeah, I just got this window right here. Oh, you didn't see me. What I do sometimes is I'll tap back and forth, like, I don't know. I think it's like maybe these cards have a relationship, a connection. What's the communication? So I go like this for them to communicate. And then I'll go like that, maybe with two cards, like what's the combined message for these two the message, right? Because they're meshed. So that's what I was doing. I went like this. And, okay, so when I was touching this card, I got the window. So it's like one lung or one wing, okay? It's whole in and of itself. Like this half of a window, it's whole in and of itself. But, if it didn't have this other half to open up, that's kind of a bad analogy, really. But it's just, two halves of a whole. This half of a window is one whole piece of glass, right? But together they make the whole window. It's better if there's lungs or wings there, but but I got that perspective too, perception of, instead of one dominating the other, being on top, one under, one on top. It's, side by side. with the even framework of God around it. I'm just seeing if that's a specific flower. I don't know. But it's also bringing more natural stuff into. See how it's like city out here, and he looks like he's in a really small, cramped apartment because he's got a radio here and his food there, and so he looks like he's in a tiny little like studio apartment, cramped city. But he's, by meditating, he's bringing this energy in because it's all energy. But literally having like plants in your house, that's why I got house plants, because it just brings good energy and it brings life into your environment. So let's see if we get a couple more here that'll. So that's interesting. King and Queen of Swords, bow, bow and arrows. Okay. 10 of Wands. Yeah, we get to a point where we're just like, all right, let's just deal with it, whatever it is, because you got this. It's just like Jesus. He knew that there was no way around it. So you know what? Let's just face it and get it over with. It's like he's got this tiger always after him, right? And he's just like, I just want to go forward and keep moving and see how all this power that he gains from facing this tiger, which is just himself, something within himself. But see, now he's free. He's not just free, but he's determined. He's stronger. He's like elevated to the next level of humanity. 10 of fire. And he's got, see how he knows the divine feminine power too, because he has earrings, one on each side, and they're both red. So the single shaft, okay, like the vaginal canal or the pineal shaft, that's the masculine, and the two, either the testes or the ovaries, are feminine. And anchors down, 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 down. So that red, that power, the fire, the divine feminine, and especially in this deck because she's the knight. Usually it's the other way around. The princess or the knave is the feminine. But for me this makes sense because the knight represents let's see, the knight represents I think the king is air. No, the king is fire, I think, and the queen is water. Oh, the knight is earth. And the princess or knave is air. I think that's right. Okay. So something that you needed to face that you did or are going to, it's upon you right now because it's a 10 of Wands. So that's good because that means it's over or soon to be once you do that. Rear up at yourself. I see partnership though, because Two of Pentacles, tangible partnership, and the King and Queen of Swords came out together. And that came out right before it, right? The Two of Pentacles. So partnerships have to happen within first before they can express themselves outwardly and translate to other people. Well, I must have been right on the money when I said that, because there's the Ace of Swords, which is the ultimate truth, God's truth, Ace of Swords. That's what a sword represents. Truth and justice. Oh. Yeah, you have the thread of the sword, so you don't lie, but if you do lie in the midst of the thread of the sword, you will have the justice of the sword come down upon you. So that's why the sword represents truth and justice. And Ma'at has the scales, and she also has the sword. Because the scales is like the alpha, omega, the beginning, the end, weighing your heart, the alpha, and the end, omega. If it's heavier in the end than it is in the beginning, then you have attachments to this world. You have to be born again, and then the slate's wiped clean. But I don't think any of that's happening anymore. We're getting too late in the game. I don't think there's any more soul recycling going on. So, not anymore. Eight of Wands. That's swift. A surprise, a message. I just said we're not going to be doing any more soul recycling. It's about soul ascension, going home to be with our star family, baby. And see, it's like they're guiding him. He's just kind of floating, and they're guiding him with their gentle hands. Right? They're powerful, multi-dimensional beings. If they wanted to just incinerate us, they could. And they haven't. Guess who is, though? Our own government. But it's not my government. It's Satan's. Because my government is in heaven. Star family! Okay, that's the Eight of Bones, which is fire. So we have the Eight of Fire. So maybe there's some swift, some message, some real good truth coming in that's going to put an end to like something that's kind of oppressing. And you're going to feel more self-empowered, balanced, masculine, feminine, more spiritually, because it's hard to be spiritual when we got like, oh, we can't afford to pay this bill, or right? It's hard to get, it's hard to meditate when you live in a tiny little cramped apartment in a big noisy city, so. But we do what we have to do. Get some house plants, play some binaural beats, whatever. Put extra thick, invest in an extra thick window so you don't hear the noise outside, whatever we have to do to get her done. So, oh, look at that. You have the Nine of Cups on the bottom. That's your make a wish. Oh. Knight of Cups. Look at that. Swimming with the dolphins. How do they, what's the, I'm trying to do the Rob Schneider version. I could do Miss Piggy. Like the hiya hiya. It's funny because my son makes that sound. Hiya hiya when he's running up and down the hallway. And he doesn't talk, so these are just all natural noises that come out in hiya. Hiya hiya. Hello. But that's what Miss Piggy. Hiya! That's Miss Piggy. I can't do the voice of her, but I can just do that part. And that wasn't even that good, but my throat's a little dry. Hiya! Hiya! Yeah. Oh, Kermie. Right? I see, I can't do the voice, but... Hiya! Ooh, the Three of Wands, Three of Fire. That's interesting because I saw this card when I was shuffling, I think. Because it was in my mind. I think it's because it popped out to me when I was shuffling. But that just, in this deck, this card is like, this is like looking forward to the future, but you're not going to have any future if you don't protect it and protect yourself spiritually, energetically, and that is who you associate with and how often and all that kind of stuff. Everything. What we eat, everybody knows all that, right? Yeah, see, she has the sea creatures working for her. There's like these men and big cats trying to get in there, and she's got all her spirits of benevolence, her team protecting her, seeing the water. They're all slithering around, and to her, she knows them, so she knows that they're benevolent, but to them, to the ones trying to invade the parasites, the infection, trying to invade her space, trying to invade her body, her privacy, or whatever, to them, they're poison. But to her, these are benevolent beings. And they're holding her up and lifting her up and protecting her and fighting off the bad guys. So that's looking forward to the future, waiting for your ships to come in. So that with the Eight of Wands, that's like something coming in. Could be a message, could be just good news, a surprise, money, because there is a couple pentacles, Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, so yeah, it could be having to do with money, so some burden is going to be over. Looking forward to that coming in. Or an earth sign. Or an earth sign leaving your life, and that's what's allowing for other things to come in. So, but that's the natural process of everything. You gotta let go of some things. So you have three of Pentacles, another three, that's good. Three of Wands and Three of Pentacles are really good. So you're looking forward. This is always waiting on God, looking forward to God coming, waiting on your ships coming in. There's your eye is on the horizon, the horizon. Your eye is on the prize, Violet. And then Three of Pentacles, so that's you cooperating with the universe. This is end of problems. This is you cooperating with the universe and you seeing the reflection, the echo of that coming back, the universe cooperating with you as well. And see how he's like separated. He's playing the drums, and who's watching? Just a few little crabs. He doesn't need to have, but there's a big city over there. He could go play in the city and have a bunch of people and girls over him and guys doing like, oh, you're so cool, dude. Let's hang out, Brzezinski, and whatever. Or like, hey, I'm a scout. I'll give you a record deal. Or I don't know. No, he doesn't want any of that. He just wants to play his music, be left the F alone. LFA, left the F alone. And he's happy just playing. He would be happy if there were no crabs there, but those crabs like that music. And he's like, hey, man, I'll play for you right on. He just wants to play his music. He just wants to express his heart's song, his soul's desire. And so he's got his drum there and some crabs that are loving it. And he's set himself apart from the world. And see how this water in between? Right, that's the dividing line, the mother. When you know mother and respect her, you know, no more worldliness. And it loses its flair if it ever had one. For me, all that stuff was concerts and blah, blah, blah. It was always just a big panic attack, really, to tell you the truth. It was just anxiety, too much. People, noise, oh, God. I can't handle the way the world is. It's not natural. And so I feel like my reaction to it is natural. It's a natural reaction to an unnatural world. Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands. You got 3s and 8s, so that's good. That's good Christ numbers. Balanced. Joyful. Blissful. That 8 when you have good news coming in. It's a big sense of release. It's freedom. Good news, right? Ah, that's expansive, not contractive. We like good news. Or no news at all. Okay, let's see if we get one or two more cards to pop out here and just sum it up, and we'll bring the tarot portion to a close. I'm almost out of time. Just kidding. What is time? It's nothing. It's not even real. And now we won't have any schedule whatsoever. Except trash day. That's the only thing. Okay. Okay, we're going to go for one more, and then we're going to see what the two cards are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so this will make 11 cards. Okay, so that's perfect. And that just felt right, and I was just counting them. Okay, so there we go. Oh, that one. So we ended on the bottom with Queen of Cups. She is the woman who is loved and in love. She is love. She embodies love. She searches out love. She exudes love. She bathes in a tub of love. Love bubbles in the tub. But she can be sensitive and emotional. Like, I see that as the Cancer. The Queen of Cups is the Cancer woman. I'm a Cancer moon, so moon sign being a water, that's, I can, you know. Hence why we always pray to God to help us out. So here's the Two of Swords at the top. It's reflection. Seeing the bigger picture, self-reflection, facing those things that might be difficult because it looks like a big mess, but just start somewhere. Start small, baby steps. Because Two of Swords, that's the stuff that binds us because we don't want to look at it. We don't have to look at it. Let God look at it, and then let God tell you what he sees. You say, God, you look at it, you tell me what you see. So, Queen of Cups, and this also is, in other decks, is like a mirror card. So, self-reflection, or a person that's mirroring back to you. And then Queen of Cups on the bottom. So, but that could be someone who loves you very deeply. So, a mother, a sister, whether here or passed on. Okay. So, wow, we got another 9. Or that was a 10 of Wands, not 9. Why did I think there was a 9? I don't know. So 5 of Swords. Wow, and 9 of Swords. Holy shit. Okay, 9 of Swords can be like nightmares. Things you don't want to face. That Two of Swords, maybe it's love you don't want to face. And it's causing you torment and terror mentally. It's like reaching out to you. It looks like a kidney-shaped stone or a heart, something in his hand. Or, oh no, that's just his hand, the way it's shaped. the angle of it. See, it's like the ancients and the ancestors here helping you. Both cards actually, see, in the sky here, and then the two beside him here. And these are really aspects of himself. See, he sees himself in the mirror. There's this mirror behind the window. And he sees himself, but alongside of it are two men that look just like him, but in old, like, Mohican clothing or something, okay? So him from a past life. So this card, 5 of Swords, is shame, regret, guilt, betrayal. So this is all these things from past lives that, right? The past haunting us, okay? It's not always what we're dealing with, is not always things from this lifetime. I mean, it is, because time is an illusion, but if you get what I'm saying. So the ancient ancestors, as far as you, who you were in past lives, and mentally clearing those blocks, working through that, and just through meditation, prayer, dreams, just, you don't have to go under hypnosis and all that stuff. Or do whatever you want. People believe in this or don't. I mean, I just like things that are simple, free. You're just using your own body. You don't have to use equipment to be in shape. You just use your body's own resistance and stuff like that. So same with when we're doing mental work, spiritual work, we're just using what we have. Not to say that getting professional help, I know I had a few years of individual weekly counseling, and then I think a year of, I'm not sure if it was weekly or maybe once a month of group therapy. So, and I mean, it was what it was. I got to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm just like repeating myself, and I got what I needed to get out of it. And it doesn't fix your problems, but it does give you the ability to be more fluid with sharing it and expressing it, and as if you're just talking about a book you just read, and releasing the shame of, I tell everybody I've been sexually abused. I mean, it doesn't matter. But when you're younger, there's a lot of guilt and shame and self-blame and things that can happen. So this Nine of Swords could have something to do with that, causing heartbreak for someone else, or you having heartbreak. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a romantic thing. It can be you not living up to your full potential in a past life, and you carry over some heartbreak, some heartache, some angst into this lifetime. But, this city looks big, scary, cold, but big, right? We're so small and diminutive compared to how big, but look how big the energy of that ancestor, like, it just takes over the whole sky. It just takes all the attention away from just this fallen world. That's what it looks like. It's just dilapidated, it's fallen, and this is our saving grace. The true story, the truth. That's the only thing that liberates us from this. The truth shall set you free. Okay, so I'm going to do just a random... Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. Look at that. Bang that drum. That's growth. That's maturity. Harvesting the fruits of the spirit. The fruits, the rewards of the growth and maturity. Harvesting the sweet fruit of maturity. Ooh, angels. I love it when they talk like that. Yeah, and that's the inner child right there. So from, healing that inner child. It's funny how getting back in touch with our inner child and healing that is the thing that allows us to grow. Because a lot of people have had traumatic childhoods, and so they didn't really have a childhood, and so maybe later in life they'll act out and do a lot of unhealthy things and have unhealthy behaviors and make bad decisions. Because they never were given, they were never trusted by their parents to make their own decisions. They just had overbearing parents, or, dysfunctional parents, or whatever. But, we have to have some sense of childhood to feel like a normal, whole person. So if we're conscious of that and do that healing work, we can have those childhood things and be aware and conscious of what we're doing, and therefore choose things that are going to allow us to engage in that. Because if we're not doing it consciously and we don't do that healing work of the inner child, then we're going to go act out and not even be consciously aware that we're trying to have some sense of a childhood. So we're not going to be conscious of the things we're doing, meaning we're not going to get the result we wanted, meaning having that conscious awareness of engaging in a childlike thing so that we can get the benefits, the fruits of that engagement, if you understand what I'm saying. So if we don't heal the inner child, we're going to go want to be a child, but we're not going to actually get the benefits of that childlike experience because we're doing it unconsciously. We have to heal the inner child so that we can have those childlike experiences, be conscious, so that we can enjoy them. Right. Okay. So we're going to leave it at that and have some fun. Don't be bored on your birthday. Even if you don't have money, because that was the Four of Cups and here's the King of Pentacles. Even if you don't have money, you can still feel like a rich man, the King of Pentacles. Even if you don't have money, that doesn't mean you got to be bored. There's tons of free stuff. But I mean, I'm the queen of free, so like I never let money. And I've had lots of money, and I've had no money, and I never let it be a hindrance either way. So, let's see if there's anything else. I just got shoot for the stars. Nope. So I just got shoot for the stars for that one. And aim high. Trust in God. And you just kind of have to shoot it out there into thin air as far as it can go and just hope for the best. Because it's going to soar. Your prayers or whatever, just they're going to go up to God, and you kind of just have to leave it up to God at that point. And then it's all about divine timing and divine intervention, and if, certain testing that we need to go through before we're given the next level of, knowledge or spiritual wisdom, fruits of the Spirit. So, to harvest those fruits of the Spirit, we have to put in the work, right? We have to till the soil. We have to tend to the garden. If we don't, we're not going to have any fruits. And then any labor that we did do is all going to be in vain. So we might as well have not done anything, right? But it's not in our nature to do that. So be wise. Let's be wise with our energies and have them bear fruit. Because if you're engaging and you're utilizing your energies, but nothing's bearing fruit, no one's being healed, you're not growing, then you're wasting your energies and you're not preserving them for yourself and utilizing them for what they need to be used for. Allocating resources. Your energy is your resource. You are your own resource. So there's no one that's going to come by with a inventory checklist. Okay, you have to be your own checklist. You and God working together, doing that. You and the Holy Spirit. You, your higher self, and God, and the Ruach HaKodesh. So, all right, I'm all out of gas. So, there's that, and then it goes with the video right before this, not the chemtrail one, but the Oracle, Shamanic, Oracular message for the 1111 gateway. So this is the Shamanic Tarot portion, and the cards that I reviewed in the beginning were from the one that got messed up, the part of the the other half that didn't get recorded. So, all right, everything final and complete. Moving on. Love, peace, and blessings.